Lee arrived in Detroit from his native Arkansas at midnight on a Saturday around New Year's Day, was it? Or New Year's Eve?
It was New Year's. The next day was New Year's, whatever the first was.
New Year's Eve. Around New Year's, we'll say.
I got here New Year's. When 12 o'clock came, I was in Detroit.
So you arrived just in the new year of 1958.
Right.
Okay.
Right, after 12 o'clock.
Lee arrived at midnight on a Saturday on New Year's Day, right at midnight at 12 o'clock in 1958. And by the next Monday, he was already working at a department store. And you're going to have to help me here. Zokowers? Zokowers. What nationality were those people? Do you remember?
Jewish, I guess. I think. Zolkwers.
Well, maybe they weren't doing so well because the store closed by 1959 September.
No. When I got here, I started work at Zokowers. I worked there a year and a half. That same owner opened up a store downtown. I left from Allen Park and they moved me downtown. That's where I met Keywell at another store. It was called Government Employee Store. When I got here, it just happened. We left a couple of days. It usually takes like 2 days to come from Arkansas. We was late getting here. We got here. We left there. It was in 57. But when we got here at midnight, the New Year's night, it was 58. Because we got here after 12 o'clock that night. Whatever time it was, 12:01 or 12:02 or 12:03. It was 1958. Then that Monday, I go to work at Zolkowers. Just so happened the people that my sister babysits for worked for their company. And he bring the baby by the house. He came that Sunday and he met me. And that Monday, he took me, when he brought the baby, he took me with him to Zolkower where he worked and got me the job. And so I went right to work that Monday. For 90 cents an hour. I think minimum wage wasn't about that. I guess, I don't know. I started at 90 cents an hour. I worked there for a few months. The same owner opened up another store downtown called Government Employee Store. Had different people in there on different departments. When he moved me downtown, I was maintenance supervisor. What I did was open the store and let people come in there and clean up. I watch over them. I go down about 6 in the morning, real early. That's how I met Florence Keywell. She had a section in there where she sold greeting cards. She special ordered records for some employees, the people that worked at post office, because anybody couldn't shop there. You had to have a membership card. I think they have stores like that now, big stores out you buy in bulk and membership, you get it cheaper. But only people, city employees, county, state, could buy there. Miss Keywell had a department where she sold greeting cards, whatnot things, different things in that department. Some of the employee black guys that worked at the post office came through and they would order special records. She would order them for them. She had a few customers. Conversation what most black did in those days, work 90 days and quit the job and walk the streets and do nothing. I didn't want to do that. She offered me the job. She first offered Lorenzo Wright wife. At that time, Lorenzo Wright wife was a switchboard operator. They had nice black girls working at the switchboard, about 4 or 5. It was a big store at the time. Lorenzo Wright won the Heisman Trophy winner from Michigan State, I believe. His wife was a switchboard operator. She wanted her to work for her because she was beautiful, nice looking, and she was trying to get that.
She'd sell more if she looked good.
Right, a lady. She reneged. Well, first she asked me to move over there. I rented a trailer on the back of my car and put up showcases and the things she had and took them over there to the store, 54 Monroe. When we got set up, the girl called and said she wasn't going to accept the job. So she asked me would I work, told me the situation. I can't pay you much. She paid me $45 a week. I could get $40 from Social Security, I think it was. I mean, when you're off work, you get money like that. I didn't accept that. My friend laughed because I had a fight at home because I should have took another job. I stood there, took the job. Florence Keywell said, this is what I pay you. And I had to work 6 days. I didn't know I had to work 6 days from 9 to 9. But she said, if I make it, you make it. We do it together. She knew nothing about the record business. I didn't either. I knew about what we liked. She came in with the top 10 sheets from Kena, CKLW, stuff that white people bought. We didn't know anything about kind of stuff. You know, we didn't like that. We like Jackie Wilson. We had a station here called The Scene, radio station. Pete Hall, some of the black would get on there every now and then because we had T-Town Records. That came later on. That's how the music got started here. And WCHB was a black-owned station, so when black records came on the radio, they gonna play them. But if you go on the east side, you lose the signal. If you go to Toledo, before you get to Toledo, you lose the signal. So how many records you're not gonna sell enough records to pay the entertainers. So at that time, there was people recording records here, but they wasn't selling because they wasn't played. How many people can you sell? They didn't have enough money left over to pay the entertainers who record the records, and that's a fact. That's why black wasn't making money in the music business. Very few. We had one called Andre. He used to play 20 grand called the Bacon Fat. That was a tune, the Bacon Fat. Andre, I forget his name now, you know. It was a very few. But Jackie Wilson came on. He got on the record here, and I think he probably got out of town, Jackie Wilson. But Jackie Wilson, he was on Brunrich's label. If it wasn't for Elvis Presley, the black people, maybe you can't say what might have happened because they wouldn't play the music on the radio.